I start with my topic is today is diagnosis and treatment of the chronic ankle instability or CAI. We can see.
Did I get an X-ray or not? How long am I going to be out for? That one's typically the most common.
This one is, we can see the mechanism of injury of the ankle sprain. The common mechanism is the inversion or supination. And from the research, from the definition of the CAI, there are several definitions, which is the Furberg in 2018 said that episode of recurrent ankle instability minimum of 1 year after an initial injury. Shim in 2020 said that at least 3 times over 6-month interval, 3 times ankle instability. And Mafuli and Kobayashi said that if not recover more than 6 weeks, an ankle cannot retain its mechanical and functional performance, they call it CAI. The incidence is in the US 2.15 per 1,000 person per year. In West Midlands, 60.9 ankle sprain per 10,000 person per year. And in the research by McKay said that 55% of patients with ankle sprain do not seek evaluation or treatment from a healthcare professional. And around 10% until 30% of patients with acute lateral sprain can develop into CAI. Also, important factor predisposing to ankle sprain and CAI is lower limb varus malalignment, or we say that hind foot varus. So this is the risk factor of CAI. Common risk factor is the subtalar joint anatomical variation, variation of the collateral lateral ligament, which has the important intrinsic risk factor of the ankle, and also peroneal tendon pathology. The classification of the CAI, there are 2 classifications, mechanical ankle instability and functional ankle instability, that mechanical and functional both can coexist. This is by a schematic diagram by Hertel in 2002, that mechanical instability or insufficiency and functional instability combined of the both of these can cause recurrent ankle sprain, which the specific point by point of the mechanical and functional insufficiency. And the updated model of CAI by Hertel in 2019 is more complex, that combine the personal factors, environmental factors, pathomechanical impairment, sensory perceptual, motor behavioral, and last the outcome of the CAI. So the 5 presentation compatible with CAI is the recurrent acute ankle sprain, giving way to the ankle without new sprain, perception of an insecure or unstable ankle by the patient, avoidance of adaptation to daily or sporting activities, and perception of an abnormal ankle by the patient with the patient complain pain and swelling. This is the common physical examination that we know, the anterior drawer test to evaluate for anterior talar displacement, and we can also evaluate the hind foot varus malalignment from the posterior side, and also from the anterior side, we can see the peekaboo heel sign. This is the also important risk factor of the CAI. We can see from the radiographic assessment, we can evaluate from the plane radiograph, MRI, and also ultrasonography. The plane radiograph, we can evaluate from the standing epilateral mortise and also Salzmann view. And this is a positive talar tilt on radiographic imaging. Also sonogram, the above picture is the normal ATFL configuration, and the B picture is the rupture ATFL, and the last C is peroneal tendon synovitis. This is the example of the T2 weighted MRI demonstrating a CFL tear on the blue arrow. And this is also the MRI of the injured ankle. This is the ATFL tear. How about the arthroscopic assessment in chronic ankle instability? Scranton in 2000 said that 13 until 35 patients complain pain and recurrent instability after successful ligament reconstruction. And OCL of the talus, soft tissue impingement lesion, osseous loose body, and peroneal tendon disorder is the source of postoperative pain in chronic ankle instability. This is also the classification of arthroscopic. There are 4 grades of the ATFL tear on the arthroscopic view. And the important thing is that 96.9% had intra-articular lesion. Patient with CAI had intra-articular lesion, and 81.5% showed soft tissue impingement as the most common associated lesion. For the management of the CAI, the aim is for the early mobilization, faster rehabilitation, and long-term prevention of instability. There are two management is the conservative and surgical. This is the algorithm of the how to approach the patient with the CAI based on the time less than 6 months or more than 6 months, and also evaluate from the stress radiography. And if continue persist the complaint patient continue instability, we should consider with the MRI. So conservative management is highly recommended for patients with CAI at least over the first 2 until 3 months, composed of functional and preventive. Patient perform multi-directional strengthening exercise, peroneal muscle strengthening, and sport-specific training for athletes. And the surgical management, there are two, non-anatomic reconstruction and anatomic reconstruction. This is the intraoperative view of the lateral ankle ligament, ATFL, CFL, and the retinaculum. Non-anatomic reconstruction do not recreate the ligament's normal anatomic insertion point and predominantly rely on the local graft. They have several clinical disadvantages: sacrifice of normal tendon, impaired ankle range of motion, and long-term degenerative changes. This is some technique of the non-anatomic reconstruction: Watson-Jones technique, Evans technique, Chrisman-Snook technique, and Colville technique. And the most common reconstruction that we do is the Brostrom procedure, the anatomic reconstruction. Around 85 until 90% of the patient who underwent the Brostrom procedure gain ankle stability. And how about the arthroscopic role? We can evaluate and treat the intra-articular condition such as impingement, painful ossicles, talus, OCL, osteophytes, and chondromalacia. And minimally invasive, of course, decrease patient recovery time and morbidity, but they have disadvantage that if we do reconstruction of the ligament, the suture anchor knots can entrap the nearby structure like extensor tendon, superficial peroneal nerve, and also the muscle peroneus tertius. In RCT, comparing all inside arthroscopic modified Brostrom to the open technique, at 1 year after surgery, there was no difference in clinical or radiological outcome. There is a research from Yale in 2016. And my preferred technique is when I find the patient with CAI, I do diagnostic arthroscopy to address any concomitant intra-articular lesion and an open lateral ligament reconstruction with suture anchor. First case, this is the 65-year-old woman attends the clinic after she fell rolling her left ankle to the side and was able to get back up and weight bear. But after 6 months, she still feel pain and recurrent swelling on her left ankle when she walked more than 15 minutes. Oh, sorry. Oh. This one. This one, I do the anterior test during before the procedure. Patient from the MRI, I did not have the MRI I put there, but from the MRI, they said that a patient have the partial tear of the ATFL. So this is a Duranto operation. From the arthroscopic view, I found like soft tissue impingement and also synovitis of this patient, and I did the debridement of the ankle. And beside of that, I found also the osteochondral defect of the talus, which after that, after I evaluate, I do the excision of the fragment because the fragment is quite small and not deep. I'm sorry, the video is not running well. Okay, and after I do the arthroscopic surgery, I did the curvilinear skin incision along the fibula to treat the ATFL. This is the ATFL after I incise, and I put the suture anchor and I do the reconstruction of the ATFL. My second case is a female, 23 years old, present with right ankle pain and history of previous ankle sprain since 1 year. The patient has pain and swelling associated with running activity and lately even with walking activity. From the MRI of this patient revealed ATFL tear of the right ankle. So I do the arthroscopic evaluation. I see the synovitis and also I clean the soft tissue impingement inside the ankle joint. So I do shaver, and from evaluating for this patient, I did not find any osteochondral lesion. And after I finished the treatment, I did for this patient same procedure with the first patient, that I do the drill hole placement for the suture anchor. And after I put the suture anchor, I do the reconstruction of the ATFL. Okay, so my conclusion is that acute ankle sprain are generally treated conservatively, while chronic ankle instability usually requires surgery. And chronic ankle instability has associated lesion. By addressing this associated lesion is very critical to the outcome of this patient. Among the surgical methods is the Brostrom procedure that primarily repairs the damaged ligament, and arthroscopy is ready to lend a hand to diagnose and treat the ankle instability. Thank you.